show you guys how the fuck are we feeling. Hold on. Let me settle in for a momento. Drinking my coffee. It's Friday morning and the vibes are good. The vibes are good. It's fucking Friday. Happy fucking weekend. You guys, we made it back. Today's episode, I want to chit chat. I have a really embarrassing story to tell you about yoga that I actually forgot to tell you last episode. This actually happened to me earlier this week, and it was humiliating. The way when things are extra embarrassing, I do think that my mind kind of just blocks it out because I'm like, that wasn't me. That couldn't have been me. And but then I at 2:00 in the morning, I had the thought of, bitch, that was you. You should put that on your podcast. So as you guys know, put that motherfucker. Thank you. On this motherfucker. So that chit chat. And then I want to talk about, okay, you guys, I had the experience with a really hot recruiter the other day, and I just want to chit chat, just girl talk. It's time a little story for the girls. And then I'm going to get into some life/mental health things. Keep it light, keep it airy, and enjoy. Hi guys, welcome back to the show. What the fuck is going on? First of all, hi, what the fuck's going on? Happy fucking Friday. You guys, we have glitter eyeshadow on today, which is good. Bubs is giving a big sigh. Oh, Bubs is in the building. Hi, Bubs. Do you want to say hello? Bubsy, anything to add? He hasn't even opened his eyes. Bubsy, really? Okay, maybe by the end. We're good today. We're good. We're grateful. Where should I start? Let's fucking dive in. Yoga this morning was amazing. I felt incredible. I'm not even going to get into it. I just felt like this maybe was one of the best classes I've ever had, not to be dramatic, but it was just I felt so strong. I think part of it is that I ate really healthy this week. This is so boring. I'm going to say this for 2 seconds and then I'm dropping it. I think it's just because I didn't eat a whole box of Girl Scout cookies, like I did last week before yoga, the evening before, right? So this week better. So that was good, and I did feel like a bad bitch, and I saw all my cute little friends, and I was back in my hot spot. You guys know that I have been taking a break from the hot spot because of my silly goose mind, and I went back to my hot spot today, and I fucking nailed it. I did so well. I was really focusing on my breathing. I was in it, and everyone hates this, so we're gonna move on. So that's what's with me. I went to therapy yesterday. Oh my God. I feel so much better. Can I just validate the world that's I don't want to go to therapy? I know I'd be validating this camp of people often, but I just want to say I want to validate I don't want to go to therapy either. The way that therapy on Thursday at 2 p.m. will ruin my whole week prior to. Yeah, it will. It'll be Sunday night, and I'm like, fuck, this is the therapy week. Because I've been going bi-weekly, and I let this ruin my Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, afternoon, till 1:55. It's ruined, because I'm therapy this, therapy that. Dun, 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 dun. What are we going to talk about? Am I going to be sad? Am I going to cry? What's going to go on? I really do think that the world has this perception that therapy is supposed to be something that it's truly not. When it comes to therapy is healing, growing, changing, but it's not fun, guys. It's not supposed to be, And the way I dread it, because it's what? We're unpacking all this shit that I have stored away inside of me. What part? I don't understand why the world misunderstands that. That's, sometimes I'll hear from people I don't know why I hate going to therapy so much. And I'm first of all, talk to your therapist about that. But the second part of that is that's so normal and valid and real. What do you mean you don't know why you hate therapy? What do you mean you don't know why unpacking years and years and years and years and years of your own trauma, and then also possibly generational trauma for hundreds of years prior to, why would that, does that sound fun? And I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just I hear it so much where people are so shocked that that's their experience. And I'm you guys, healing, growing, changing, it never was meant to be a fun experience, which is why many people choose to not do it. And on this note, yesterday in therapy, and I understand this is a very privileged question to ask, because I was having a moment where I was just like, this, I'm so lucky that I even get to ask this question. But to my therapist, I literally said yesterday, I feel too aware of what's going on in my life right now. And I feel like that's becoming a problem in itself. Like the self-awareness, be self-awaring. Like I really, really do know what's going on. My internal and my external and all of my being is so connected right now that I'm like, I feel sick. Like, it's just too much. I told her, I was like, I've been journaling my morning pages for a year. The way I open up my journal, I'm like this, what, Stephanie? What else do you possibly have to say? Like, honestly, it's been a year, girl. It's been a year, girl. Like, what other questions do you have? What else do we need to ask? What else do we need to do? So she was laughing, and I literally told her, I think I know too much. She was like, that's so relatable. Like, right? Like, I think as a therapist and me being a client in therapy, I just feel like I know too much. I know a lot. I understand the patterns. I understand past behaviors. I understand how everything's impacted. And it's just fucking heavy sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to get into it. And she was like, truly, Stephanie, this is why people say like ignorance is bliss, you know? And it's like, yeah, I kind of, sometimes I'm just like, I wish I just could ignore it all, you know? So the people that say they don't like going to therapy, I just want you guys to know, I don't like going to therapy either, you know? But to be ignorant is not better. It just feels better in the moment because it's numbing. It's the same thing as being an addict, you know? And wanting to numb your experience. Yeah, it's a lot easier to be numb than it is to face it all. What? With sadness? What? Anger? What? Hurt? What? Disappointment? But no, not today, you know? And that's on addiction. So now that I live like this, where I'm so attuned with myself, it's just like, oh my God. Not to mention I meditate every night. No, I'm not bragging. I'm telling you how annoying I am. Like it truly feels like, oh my God, this is so irritating. Truly, like I close my eyes and it's just like a what, Stephanie? So I've actually been processing a lot about my relationships lately. I'll lead with this actually. We'll go bottom to top. Yeah. And, in my conversation with my therapist yesterday, I was just talking about this and I was saying how like I've fucked up. Like there's been past relationships that I've fucked up. And I tell you guys a little bit about this. My most recent, I think, was when I told you guys that I ghosted that guy that we had been talking for. We've been friends for years now. We met on the humble brag volcano when I climbed a volcano that one time. That was so fucking cool. But we met in Guatemala and we stayed connected. We went on like really fun hangs. And I just ghosted him out of the blue when we got back from Tahoe. And I'm not proud of that, you know? I'm not proud of that. And I told you guys the whole story where I came back around like months later, 6 months, and he was pretty much just like, I don't want anything to do with you, you know? I'm paraphrasing, but I do be fucking up with relationships, and I know this about myself, and I'm just like, I'm aware of it. So yesterday I was talking to her about a friendship that I fucked up. And how much do I want to say? This is my podcast. Okay. That friend that I started the podcast with before, I told you guys that I had a podcast previous to this one. That relationship ended and I ghosted. Like I completely... Is she going to hear this? I mean, I'm just being honest. I think it's okay. I was just not in a healthy place. My life was like changing a lot. I had overdosed. Why am I laughing? Because it's like so dramatic. Why the ODs? I don't know, dog. That's not funny. Why am I don't know. Just like, oh God, not an OD. I overdosed in June of that year. We started the podcast in like something like November of that year. So it's just like a lot of changes, a lot of just like trying to find my path, low key, high key, trying to survive. And I didn't realize how much I was just trying to survive. Like I thought I was doing okay, but when I think about this time of my life and realize how I showed up in the relationships that I was having at that time, I do realize how much I was just trying to survive. And when the podcast didn't work out, it was so like... It was just such a bummer to me because we were friends first, and then the podcast, which I did tell her ahead of time, I was like, I worry that a podcast will make us not want to be friends anymore. And I didn't know. Part of it was like maybe my intuition speaking through, but the connection I had made back at that time was Call Her Daddy was going through the Sophia and Alex drama. And I told my friend about this, and I was like, because she was like, should we start a podcast? And I was like, I love the idea. I've always wanted to have a podcast. I'm a little bit worried that this might impact the friendship. And she wasn't worried about that at all. She was like, no, it's going to be totally fine. So I trusted that it would be totally fine. And then, I mean, on her end, maybe it was, but for me, it was just a lot of communication. Like, to be podcast hosts and really close friends. Like, we were really close friends at this point, and we created this little podcast, which was really a good idea. She really inspired me to podcast, if I'm gonna give her flowers on the mic for a second. You know, like, she definitely encouraged me to do it. I don't know that I would have started a podcast by myself from jump. I don't know. And she was really excited to do it, and so was I. We recorded a couple episodes, and the episodes we recorded were just like really challenging to record. I couldn't tell if it's because we were both brand new at podcasting or if I was just too anxious or what. And I mean, in this moment, I think too, like, part of me does better solo, which I told you guys last episode. Like, this is just like the groove I found myself in. But at that time, it was just like, it was challenging. And editing was so hard for me. I was like editing on this like website that was not even like an actual editing software, like on my desktop. And I think I was using like my laptop. I just remember it being like really just like tough, really tough. And we tried for like maybe like a couple months, but it was just like a really interesting time. And not to mention my mom just died, you know, like it had only been like 2 years at this point, which I feel like for me, that was like really recent still, where I was just like, we're still like not even a year past the OD and all that. And I'm like trying to do so much. So I just remember a lot of chaos. And one night she had like texted me about the podcast, and I just remember feeling so incredibly overwhelmed. It was like late at night, something about the editing. And I texted her and I was like, hey dude, like, I love you. Being your friend and a podcast host is too much for me. Like, it's just I feel too overwhelmed in the relationship. It's just like constant. And I was like, I just don't know what to do with the situation. And she said, like, I'd rather be your friend than a podcast host, which is very valid. But at that time, how I responded was felt like I had put so much work into the podcast, and I was so bummed that the podcast was going to end now because she'd rather be my friend than a host, which is like, of course she'd say that stuff. But in my mind, I got really defensive and I got angry, and I was really bummed that I put so much work into it. And then I was like, let's just not be friends anymore. And I don't even remember how much I said. I think I sent like one message that was just like, I just like need space. And I don't even really fully remember. And maybe I didn't. I don't know. This time was very chaotic for me. But all I remember was I just ghosted her. Like, there wasn't back and forth. And we had been friends for years at this point. She's the friend that went to court with me when I had to get that restraining order from that ex. Like, she was really fucking supportive of me, and we were friends for like years and years. There's so many different chapters. And for me to act like that was super unfair. Like, it was super unfair. And I remember knowing that in the moment, but I also remember not having the capacity to act any other way. Like, I just didn't have the capacity nor the tools. I remember thinking, like, what type of conversation are we even going to have? Like, I don't even think I have it in me to, like, express myself. I don't even know how I feel. All I know is I'm so fucking bummed that this podcast failed. I'm so fucking bummed that, like, all of our work and everything we put into, I mean, we did a lot. Logo. It sounds like silly goose business, but at the time it wasn't, because it was, like, a lot. I mean, it was truly a lot of work. Like, in Canva, you know, just like when you start a podcast, it's more than just hopping on a mic. It's like thinking about, you know, your ideas. What's the intention? What's the workflow? My fucking favorite. What's the structure? How's this going to be sustainable? You know, like, what are we going to talk about? All of our ideas, like the amount of meetings we would have, and just, we put so much into it, you know, and it just ended like that. And it just made me feel super, I like didn't even know what to feel about, what to do with my feelings. Like, I was so conflicted about the whole thing. I just like knew that I just needed to get out of the relationship, because then that would stop my pain from being so active and alive in my body. And in this moment, 2 years later, I can identify that that was not the correct way to act. To show up like that was not the correct way to act. So, as I was talking to my therapist yesterday, I was talking about how I have patterns around ghosting and how I feel like bad about that, you know? And I told her, like, I don't exactly know what I want to change about this, but I just have like guilt that stays so alive within me because I feel like I can discard relationships very easily. I would say easier than most people when I think about my past experience. Other people I know, they have like a hard time letting people go. I feel the opposite. I have no issue letting people, except for all my ex-boyfriends. I don't know why with that, but I have no issue letting people go. Like, I'm completely fine just being like, all right, we're done here. And I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that. And my therapist yesterday I love when therapists do this. I used to do this too. Like I express all this and she's like, well, what do you think you need to essentially close the loop on this guilt spiral, you know? And in the moment, I didn't know. Like I sat with myself for a second, which I'm trying to get better at. Just saying, I don't know. This could actually be very relatable to the world. You guys, we don't always have to have an answer, okay? Like it's completely fine to just be like, I don't know, especially in therapy. So normally I think old Stephanie would have tried to answer this and just been like, I think I would say this, but I told her, I said, I actually don't know. And she was like, that's okay. And then she was like, your homework is just to reflect on it. Like you're not supposed to do anything with this, just reflect on it, which I love that, right? Like she's not telling me to reach out. She's just being like, just think about it, you know? Obviously, if it's like looping in your mind, there's something unfinished or there's emotion that's unprocessed with it. So just process the feelings and think a little bit more about it. And you don't have to do anything with that. Just see where it takes you. So yesterday I got out of therapy and I journaled about it. Like I said, get your like hours worth, you know. I journaled for like maybe 30 minutes outside after I got out of therapy. And I journaled out a lot of my thoughts. And then I was like, okay, I'm not going to do anything with it. It's fine. And then last night I was meditating and I just started like fucking crying. Like, like I just started like fucking crying. Like I just felt so much. I just feel like as I'm entering a new era of my life, I need to show up in different ways and I need to shed the past experiences that are continuously hurting me. In this experience, I hurt her, but the guilt landed with and stays with me about how I operated and how I showed up in that moment. I just don't agree with myself now as I did back then. At the same time, I know why I showed up that way. My grief is very impactful in my relationships. And I didn't always know that, especially back then. I mean, I had only been a couple years into grieving. You realize over time with grief how it shows up in your life, and it takes a really fucking long time to see the patterns because you're so fucking sad. It's so logical to be that sad, you know? So you're just like, oh, it's just like constant sadness, but it's also like it impacts your relationships too. Like for me, my energy level around relationships is a lot lowered since my mom died. Like I just don't have the capacity to show up in relationships like I used to be able to. And I understand that could sound like an excuse to some people, but for the people that have experienced grief, I feel like you'll hear me on that. Like maybe if my mom was still here, maybe I would have been able to send a message and then go to tell my mom about it, you know? But when my mom's not here, I don't have the energy to send a message and I don't have my mom to process this with. You know? So for me, leaving was the way I handled it. And I do think a lot of that was rooted in my grief. Sometimes I just don't have the energy. Like, yes, communication has always been hard for me. And yes, there's a level of this that like doesn't surprise me, to my dad's point, not surprised that she acted like an asshole. And so I don't feel surprised either. But the other part of me is like trying to give myself more compassion because I feel like a lot of that is just my grief showing up. Like I'm so exhausted just trying to get out of bed in the morning because where's my mom that I don't have the energy to go through conflict resolution with a friend. Yeah. So, oh, that's so sad. Because like people get hurt in that process, you know? Like, and that's not my intention, but when I'm struggling this much, it is just how it happens. So trying to give myself compassion. But this morning I texted this friend and I just apologized and I don't expect a response back. And I thought about it in yoga and that actually really helped me. Like I really thought about it in yoga and I was like, are you sure you don't want to say anything? Because even if my therapist said something yesterday, I was like, I'm not going to say shit. Like this is years ago. Like I'm not going to say shit. I'm just going to let myself process this on my end. But this morning I was like, no, I could say something. Because why would I not say shit? Well, I'm kind of worried about the response, which is why I didn't say this in the first place. You know, I don't really want to be told that I am a bad person, that I'm like a bad friend. I don't really want to be told like, fuck off. I'm not really in the mood, you know? I'm not really in the mood. But at the same time, it's like her feelings are also valid. And if she wants to tell me to fuck off, she told me to fuck off, you know? And I kind of just like told her that I was really sorry. Like, I was really sorry about why about showing up in that way. And I was sorry for like ending our friendship in the way that I did. And I said that like I should have communicated more, and I'm just sorry that I didn't. And I told her, I was like, I feel like a lot of my relationships were impacted by my grief, where I just had a lot less energy to navigate conflict. And for me, just like leaving a relationship at that time was a lot easier than working through a rupture. And I just didn't have the tools, you know? So that's what I'm dealing with this morning. I feel proud of myself for saying something, and it's years later. So maybe I'm just sharing this too, to you guys know, like, don't put pressure on yourselves to like, to handle these situations immediately. It's okay if we make mistakes like this, guys. Like, I'm not saying this to advocate for communicating terribly like I chose to do at this time. I'm saying this to just share that it's okay to make mistakes like these. You're not a bad person if you ghost people. You're not a bad person if you just need space for a little bit and you just go no contact for a little bit of time, or for an extended period of time. Depending on what you're going through, sometimes we just do need to turn inward and like really just like take care, you know? And some people will understand that and some people will not. But especially if you're grieving, to take care of yourself is your only responsibility. And the compassionate side of me tells me that, you know, like if I could go back to myself, this is a cute little thing to do. This is very therapeutic. This is like what you would do as like a therapist. Like if I could go back to myself at that time, I would be like, hey, like, it's okay that you're showing up in this way because you're honestly barely surviving. Your phone is full of fucking fuckboys, Stephanie, and exes, and you're dealing with it. You're not even a year from an OD. Like, life's a little chaotic, girly. Like, it's, you know, I'm not surprised. If you need to take one thing off your plate, and if that thing happens to be a friendship with somebody that's overwhelming you right now, I get why you would do that. And it's okay. Because it is okay. What's the alternative? You know, like, when am I going to go back and bully myself? No. I mean, I've already bullied myself up until yesterday with my therapy session. Like, I did feel fucking bad, and I still do feel bad. But to bully myself into being like, you're a bad friend, you're a fucking idiot, you deserve all the worst things because you can't show up for people who show up for you, how is that helpful? You know, it's not. So what my therapist said too is like, don't force yourself. You know, don't, if you're like needing to text somebody back, but you're not feeling it inside, don't force that. It's okay to just like let things ride and trust that your intuitive guide or your internal processing will let you know when it's ready. For me, it took 2 years, you know? And again, in this moment, I don't know if she's going to respond or not. And I'm kind of anxious about it. So thanks for listening to this on the fucking mic. I mean, that's honest and real, man. Wait, let's pivot, you guys. I had a meeting with a recruiter on Monday and I was uninterested. Okay. I was uninterested because it was like an 8 a.m. meeting. It was really early. And I hop on the meeting and he's so hot. You guys, he's so hot. Like, I literally was looking at him like, why are you not on like Love Island? Like, this is a hot man. Like, I was looking at him like, why are you a recruiter? So anyway, and I'm wearing no makeup. I'm wearing my glasses, and I literally I was very uninterested going to this meeting. My lighting was shitty. I literally had a sweatshirt on, no makeup at all. Literally, hair looked like shit, glasses on. Could not care less. I'm just like this, good morning. And then I was like, oh my God, okay, maybe I should just like sit up a little, take this seriously because this man is hot. And we're chit chat, and he starts talking about this job, and he tells me the job's not hiring. And I don't know exactly what transpired after that, but we started talking for 30 minutes, and we're talking about other jobs because I worked with this recruiting agency before, and he was like laughing at my jokes, and I was like, he's obsessed with me. We hopped on the call for you to tell me that the job is not even open, and then you hold me on the call for 30 more minutes, and then what? You're gonna laugh at my jokes? So afterwards, I searched his name on the internet and then I followed him on Instagram immediately, shamelessly. I don't care. And he was also a real estate agent, which I was like, that's a hot dude job. A recruiter? What do we think? I kind of think actually recruiters are hot dude jobs too. Recruiters are nothing but chit chat. So is real estate. Okay, that makes sense to me. So then I was like sleuthing his Instagram and I was looking at his, oh my gosh, Bubs, look who's awake. Good morning. What are you doing, Bubs? What are you doing? Do you have anything to say? He was not in here when the hot man was on the camera, but I did tell Bubs about it. Remember? Yeah. And we hopped off the call and I followed him on Instagram immediately. And I was like, I have no shame in my game anymore. And what's my update from them? I texted Emma and I said, because obviously Emma manages the Instagram. So I texted her and I was like, just heads up, this is the hottest man I've ever seen. And then I told her his name. And then she did some sleuthing. And why is this my luck? I'm not hating on DJs. No, that's not my intention here. I know that there's a time place for a hot DJ. Okay, I used to go to EDM shows all the time. I think DJs are really cool, but to date, I watch a lot of Summer House and Kyle Cook. Okay, perfect example. Why I never want to date a DJ. Like, I'm good, you know? So Emma pulls up his YouTube and this man is a fucking DJ. So, I mean, immediately, what was my feeling? Immediately, my feeling was, well, at least he's not married because I saw his little hands in the DJ thing, or at least he wasn't wearing wedding ring, which is a great start. And he's hot. Like, he's hot, but he's wearing a tank top. I don't know. You know how I feel about flip-flops, you know? I don't, no flip-flops, no ripped jeans, no tank tops. I feel like you said something different last time. Was it tank tops before? Always flip-flops, always ripped jeans. What's the third one? It might have been tank tops. I really don't like a man. I do not like a man in a tank top. I really do not like a man in a tank top. Okay. If you're working out, if we're like in a gym fitness setting, I'm more lenient to be like, okay, I get it because we're at the gym. But if you're anywhere other than the gym and you're a man, just put on a t-shirt, you know, just wear a tee. There's just no need. There's just certain things that are only for the girlies, and say what you want about this statement. That's totally fine. But flip-flops and tank tops are for the girlies. If you're a man, dress like a man and put on a shirt with sleeves. Thank you so fucking much. So the man was wearing a tank top and he's a DJ. So 2 red flags that I don't like. I'm not loving it. Have we spoken? Has anything transpired since the recruiting call? No. Mom said, ow. So that's that. I'm treating this professionally for right now. But once the professional relationship ends, maybe I'll send a little DM, maybe a little chit chat, and I'll keep you guys in the loop about that. But the way I was just so shook that this hot ass man answered the call at 8:00 in the morning, I was like, what's going, like, Love Island, I'm sure, is like casting for the next season. Like, what are you doing here? You know, hot man that's not married. Like, what are you doing on a recruiting call with me? And then I'm like, what are we doing here? Should we both be on, like, just come on. Should we just like fill out our applications together? Like, I could see myself doing something, not Love Island, because I think Love Island is weird. Why are we making out so much? Ugh, and the kissing noises, bleh. Like, I literally, all my friends watch Love Island, and I want to be that girly so fucking bad, but every time I turn it on, I'm like, what's the deal with this show? Why is everyone so loud? Why are we jumping up and down, first of all? Why? Okay, actually, I have riffs about Love Island now that I think about it. Bubsy, hush back there, because I have to talk about Love Island. Unless you want to add something to the podcast. What is it? Oh, you want me to tell them that? Okay. He wants me to tell you guys what he thinks about Love Island. I sorry, I didn't know you wanted to talk about the Love Island. I thought you were just making noise just to make noise. Okay, sorry. He said, Samantha, I literally was like this. I have feel about Love Island. And I told him to be quiet. Oh, sorry, Bubs. Okay, I shouldn't tell a co-host to be quiet. I know I'm not perfect in relationships. We already talked about that at the beginning of the podcast. No, your and I relationship is good, Bubs. Oh, you think I show up like shit too? Sometimes? Why? Oh, I don't give you enough time to talk? Okay, Bubs. He's pissed. What do you want me to tell them about Love Island then, Bubs? Go ahead. I'm listening. Okay, me and Bubsy, this is what we think about Love Island. Why, during the challenges, does everyone get so dirty? You're not putting goo on my head. Like, you're not putting, like, I'm going to say it one more time for louder for those in the back. You're not putting goo on my head. Why are we covered in goo? Why are we, if not goo, then paint? What's going on? And here's what Bubs just said. Why don't they let them take a shower and put on sweats and a hoodie? After these challenges, why are we sitting in goo in paint having a chit chat about our relationships? Why don't they let them take a shower? Is there a rule where they're like, you have to sit in the goo? Like, I watched one recently where they literally had this challenge where they're just absolutely covered in paint, like covered in paint. And then I imagine, because I know how, like, from what I understand about, like, filming, you're there for, like, hours for, like, a small scene. So they're sitting in this covered in paint all day, like, all day long. Like, and then to me, low key, because I make everything about fucking respect, it feels disrespectful. Bubs is really upset about this. Look at him. It literally, right, Bubs? Right? Tell him, Bubs. It really feels disrespectful. Like, you don't respect me enough to let me take a shower and put on a hoodie. Like, let boys lie. Give the clothes. Give a hoodie, give a sweatshirt, and we can make this an ad. Like, I don't fucking care, but to not let them take a shower to me feels nuts. I truly want to know from anyone ever on Love Island that has ever been on that show. I have to know about the situation. And then it gets in their hair. I mean, all these women, not all of them, but most of these women have, like, gorgeous, expensive extensions in. You're going to tell me that I'm going to get paint on these? You're going to make them covered in, and then if not paint, then goo? I don't even know what that stuff is. They just, like, always have them covered in shit. I'm like, this is so fucking, it's childish. It's gross. I watched one recently too where they were like pieing people, and then you're covered in pie, and it's all over your fucking face and in your hair? We're adults, dog. Why the fuck are we, in the most recent season, the one I watched that was recent, Soul, she's such a cutie. I feel like she had really positive energy, but she, like, covered her face before they, like, pied her. And I'm like, yeah, why do not more people do that? Like, we're talking fresh hair and makeup, and you're going to put a pie in my face? Like, I don't need love that bad. I don't even want to be famous. Like, I don't even fucking care. And then on top of all of that, we're making out with everybody. And not to make this serious, but part of me is like, do they want to make out with everybody? And then I'm like, has anyone looked into, like, not like assault, but, like, maybe sometimes. I have seen that there have been sexual assault allegations on that show, and I would imagine that. Like, we're putting a bunch of strangers together and just making them make out for such a long period of time. I just think that, like, we need to get some eyes on this, Steve. I just think we need to get some eyes on Love Island, Steve. It's kind of a weird show. My mom used to watch it. My mom was such a reality TV girly. We used to always watch, this is cute to think about. Vanderpump Rules was our favesy. That was coming out in real time. When my mom and I would watch it together. We watched Summer House. That was also coming out real time. We would watch it together. She used to always watch Below Deck. She called it the boat show. I'd be like, Mom, what are you watching? She would say, the boat show. Which Below Deck I never really got into, but she loved it. She was such a Bravo girly. And she totally used to watch Love Island. But I remember she would say this show's so weird, because it is weird. It kind of makes you feel weird when you're watching it. Like, why is everyone so aggressively making out? I don't believe that everybody really is enjoying this as much as they say they are. And then to sleep in the same bed with strangers also that's the part to me that feels a little bit like, do we trust these men? You know? Like, I think as a woman, I feel a little nervous knowing that these are just random men, strangers, and you're asking me to make out with them and then to sleep in the same bed as them. I just don't feel like that's safe. That's just how I personally feel about it. Like, I don't think we should trust stranger men. Maybe let's not get in bed together until we know more. You know, they have a therapist on that show, right? I think they have therapists. They should have therapists on that show. So I can't watch it. Also, why are the episodes an hour and a half? Oh my God, they're so fucking long. I'm like, how much? This is a movie. And one thing I do like about the show though is that they post it so much. Like they really do it like real time, which I think is really good for like viewers, you know, like we really feel a part of the dramas. But yeah, I just have like some things about it. The biggest thing is the danger. The second thing is, why does nobody get to take a shower? Like it icks me out, but I also have a weird relationship with stuff on my body. You know, I've told you guys about this before. I think it's my OCD. I get very hyper like aware of like, oh, I don't like it when my clothes are wet. Like the minute I get out of yoga, and I mean like the minute I get out of yoga, I immediately take a shower. Like I can't even drive home. Like I can't be in wet. I just can't. Oh God. Like it will make me cry if I have to stay in clothing for too long. One time I was in Hawaii and I went on this like 10-mile hike and there was a waterfall at the end and it was fucking gorgeous. The hike was so beautiful. One of the coolest experiences of my whole life. And, we went to the waterfall, we went swimming, but I didn't think it all the way through. You know, I was like, oh, it's just like a hike with a waterfall. I don't need to change the clothes. I'll be fine. Went swimming, fucking loving my life, like just living it up. It was like humid outside, but hot. It was just so fucking nice. I put on my dry clothes after the waterfall. And then, it was 10 miles. It was like a whole day. We were probably hiking for like 6 hours. And you get really sweaty too on the way back. And by the time I was all the way back, I was literally soaked in sweat, wet from like my socks and shoes were wet from the waterfall. And I was covered in dirt. The minute I got into the car, I asked the person who was driving, how long is the drive back to our Airbnb? And he tells me 45 minutes. And that's when I started crying. Because I thought it was like 20. On the way there, I didn't really realize that it was going to be 45 minutes back. And that's when I started crying. And then I cried all the way home. Like, I literally cried all the way home. Like, the drama of it all. I know. Wow, this went by so fast. Am I having fun? I'm having the best time. Are you guys good? Is this thing on? How the fuck are we feeling? Happy fucking Friday. Bubs is being so loud behind me. What's wrong, Bubs? I told him the story about Love Island. Is there anything else you have to add? Bubsy. Hey. Oh my God. The way he just totally ignores me, it makes me so... But I'm like, 70, that's just your ego. You just want to be like hurt. But it's like, oh my God. Bubsy. Thank you. He doesn't even lift his head up. There we go. That's a head lift. That's a head lift. Okay, my embarrassing story, and then we're going to wrap it. You guys, I went to yoga on... maybe Monday morning, and I was tired. I mean, I get there at 5:15 for a 5:30 class. I was tired, and it's just like very quiet and serene. I go to a different city where I go to my class, and it's a very quiet. It's not Oakland. It's a very quiet, much more quiet city than that, and just like very serene. Every morning it's dark out. You know, it's just good morning, hi, how you doing? Chit chat, just quiet vibes. We're in a yoga studio. Okay, so I walk in. I say good morning to my teacher, who's also my friend. Chit chat for 2 seconds, and then I walk around the corner and my very full, all the way full, how many ounces is my hydro flask? Maybe like 64 ounces? Probably smaller than that. 42? What's the medium size? Either way, it's big as fuck. And it's full of water. And I don't know what happened. It just like slipped out of my hand and fell onto the cement floor. And was the loudest thing I've ever seen and heard in my life. Like even in this moment, I'm getting upset. Why is a full hydro flask? Why does that sound like a literal bomb going off? Just quick apology for the yoga studio. I'm so sorry about that. Like the way okay. And it didn't just fall a little. Okay. It fell, clang, 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 roll, 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 roll. Okay. Okay, full of water. So I'm chasing it down into the locker room as it's rolling away from me. It gets dented. It's this whole drum. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, it scared the living. Like, I can still hear the noise and feel the noise reverberating from my bones as I tell the story right now. That's how much it truly impacted me. Like, as it... Oh my God. As it was, Bubsy. What? He really is talking today. What, Bubsy? As it was rolling away, I was like, is this not the loudest noise you've ever heard in your whole life? And then my teacher literally, like, as I walked back out, she looked at me, she goes, are you okay? Not me being not okay again. What was it last week when she asked me if I wanted a hug? Wait, was this the same class? No, it might have been. That's really embarrassing, Steph. Oh, that's probably why I forgot about the hydro flask, because I was so embarrassed by the do you need a hug. Oh, no, this was the same class. Oh, Stephanie, that's humiliating. Okay, let's really put that story together and then I'll let you guys go. So I walked into yoga, dropped the hydro, sounded like a bomb went off. The whole studio heard it. I'm sure every neighbor heard it. I'm sure it went on for 10 miles. I would assume. I go into class. I act like a big crybaby all of class. I'm in child's pose the whole time, making a face like, oh my fucking God, how much longer? Get out of that class after I only did about 10% of it. Get out of that class. My teacher stops me at the door. Are you okay? Do you need a hug? Okay. That's so embarrassing. Am I okay? Do I need a hug? Great question. Great question. Like, why is every time I hear a hydro flask fall, it scares the living fuck out of me, whether I see it happen or not. So the fact that I did this with nobody around, but there was so many people in the studio, I probably scared everyone. Yeah, I probably scared everyone. I mean, not early in the morning. Yeah. Yeah. Like when people's hydro flasks fall over in class, I'm like, oh, holy shit. It's so loud. It really is so loud. Class was good today though. I just have like a complaint that I can just tell you guys. I hate when people leave during Shavasana. It's like you can leave before Shavasana. That's totally fine. But to leave during Shavasana is just such a choice, you know? Like I just kind of wish sometimes people would be like aware of the community side of it, you know? Like just try, guys. Like just try. Like I'm not even asking you to stay for all of Shavasana. Like it's a whole 2 minutes, you know? I'm not even asking you to give me your whole 2 minutes. It's just like, can you please be mindful enough to leave before we're laying quietly, because all I hear when we're laying quietly is mats rolling up, hydro flask is falling over, keys jingle jangle, you know, and I'm just like, where are you going? I made so countless videos about this online, so I need to stop bitching about it, because it's like, Stephanie, it's like this is an issue within you and you need to just like stop worrying about what other people are doing. Totally, I hear you, but at the same time it's just like sometimes I want to like say something, but what the fuck would I say? Would you mind not leaving in the middle of our Shavasana? I sound like an asshole. I'm not going to say that. I'll just bitch about it on the podcast. Maybe somebody will hear it one day and be like, maybe I shouldn't leave in the middle of Shavasana. It's just like the part where I feel like we're the most connected, you know? Like when we're doing like, we're literally just like sitting and like, we're like either in Shavasana or we're like sitting up and we're just like crisscross, just kind of closing class right before everyone says namaste. Like that's the part where it's like, why are you your keys jingle jangle, you know? Like, could we just not keys jingle jingle for 2 seconds? Okay, anyway. That's about me, though, not about anybody else. Okay. But if you guys go to yoga, can you guys just not leave during Shavasana? Thank you. Everyone's going to hate this. Mind your own business, bitch. I love you guys so fucking much. I appreciate this space to be very honest about my relationship struggles, my communication struggles, and my grief. It's not lost on me that like this is very healing for me, but also you listening to me is really what continues to make me want to come back. So I just wanted to say thank you for being here while I talk so openly and honestly about really challenging situations. My hope is just to help you guys feel less alone. And if you've experienced things similar to me, and if you're grieving and struggling in relationships, give yourself compassion to know that like, it's okay. You know, sometimes when we're grieving, we don't have energy for a lot. And sometimes relationships fall through the cracks at that time. It's not because you're a bad person or a bad friend. It's just because potentially you're overwhelmed or you're overstimulated or you just have a lot on your plate. You're dealing with a lot of emotions from loss. We got to give ourselves compassion in those moments and tell ourselves like, you know, it's okay. And if this encourages you to want to repair any of those relationships, I could let this be that too. It's scary to send those messages. The guilt, the shame, the fear. In this current moment, I feel all those things. So I'm not going to act like it's easy, but I'm proud of myself for at least like extending the olive branch to say that I'm sorry, because that's just for me, right? It's always, what's your intention? My intention is just to let this person know that I'm just really sorry. My hope is that helps me release it and just kind of learn and grow from this experience and give myself the compassion to be able to do so. So thank you for this space, and I'll keep you posted on the hot man and on my hot recruiter. A DJ though. How do we feel about that? Love it. I love you guys so much. Have a good weekend. Talk to you soon.